Jack Skellington.
Jack Skellington is in the house. Should I say welcome to A Nightmare Before Crosscut? I'm your co-host, Josh.
And I'm your other co-host, Chris.
Today we're talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street. No, I'm just kidding. Not A Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare Before Christmas. The 1993 Disney, this is stop animation, right?
Yes, it's technically claymation, really.
Claymation, okay. The classic from Disney with, our favorites, Jack Skellington, Sally, and all the other weird Tim Burton characters that show up in these. So here we are, 30-year anniversary, by the way. This movie came out, I think, right before Halloween of 93, so a little late to the party, but still happy 30th anniversary, A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm as old as Nightmare Before Christmas.
So I'm going to say this right off the bat. I did not grow up with this movie. I'm more of a recent watcher of this movie.
Really?
I don't think they do this in Disney World, but in Disneyland, they do this really awesome thing. If you've never been to it, Haunted Mansion, they convert it into The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it is so good. So my mom, I was just funny because it's my mom's birthday today. And we were talking like, 4 years ago today on her birthday, we went to Disneyland. I took her. And that's when we went to the Haunted Mansion. If they're going to like redo a ride for like a season, that's probably the best one I've ever seen. And then it got us both interested to be like, okay, let's, so we went home and watched the movie that night, stuff like that. So, but yes, I am late to the party. It's not a movie I didn't grow up on. I don't remember watching it a lot, like on Disney Channel or just like on TV. And I guess I just didn't have it on VHS. So I'm a newer person to the Nightmare Before Christmas.
So that's very different for me because I had it on VHS and I was always watching. Every time it was Halloween, gotta put it on. Every time it was Christmas, gotta put it on.
So wait. So wait. I gotta ask: is this a Halloween movie or is this a Christmas movie?
It's both.
Okay, it's both. All right. I saw it more as a Christmas movie, but maybe because it's more themed around the holiday. But obviously, the setting is Halloween Town, so that's cool.
It really is both Christmas and Halloween. Also, from the movie, like rewatching it over and over again, you pick up new things. Like some little details, like the entrance song of "This Is Halloween."
Yeah,
and everyone's like getting closer to the courtyard and everything. You see the tree with the little skeletons hanging from there, and on their skulls it's an upside down cross. I never noticed that.
Upside down cross. Interesting.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of different little bitty details that you don't pay attention to unless you're actually just looking for them or you're actually just watching it over and over again. Not to mention it's Tim Burton with Danny Elfman. You can't beat that.
I didn't realize Danny Elfman did the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Yeah. That was interesting.
Oh yeah, but the interesting fact about that though, like he was going to sing for Jack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he originally was going to be the voice actor for Jack too, but Tim Burton said no. He didn't want him as the actor of just doing the dialogue. So that's when Chris Sarandon came in, right? But Tim Burton didn't even tell Danny Elfman directly. He didn't want to. He avoided him. So he ended up telling his wife, Danny Elfman's wife, and she told him, and he got pissed about it.
You're a coward, Tim Burton. Be truthful. I guess that's the good thing about doing, you're only doing a voice. You can technically cut out whatever you want and just have somebody else do the other parts. So true. I didn't realize, I thought Chris Sarandon was doing everything. I was like, man, this guy's got some pipes. This guy can sing. No. I've only ever known him from Fright Night and Child's Play. And I was like, man, this guy can sing, but apparently no, it's Danny Elfman. Thought.
I mean, remember Danny Elfman used to be in a band, but it was back in the 80s.
Got a great voice, man. I was like, man, this guy can sing.
Well, just another thing, like, did you know, like, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, who the voices are?
Are you talking about the movie?
Lock, Shock, and Barrel,
you mean Lock, Stock, and Two. Oh. There's a Guy Ritchie movie called Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels. So no, okay. No. He was one of the he was one of them, right? I saw that in the credits. And then Catherine O'Hara
Yes.
was another one of them, I think.
Catherine O'Hara was the girl trick-or-treater, and Pee-wee.
Oh, Paul Rubens. Rest in
Yes.
peace, the late Paul Rubens. I think he
Yes.
passed away this year.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
yeah.
But yeah, Paul
Well, that makes
Rubin
sense
was
because
the.
they had the connection because Tim Burton directed the Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Hmm. So I did not know that they were the voices for those three kids. And then I saw like when they were doing it live on like at a convention, all
Hmm.
three more there, and they were singing the song la 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 la.
I got some topics to discuss in my
Yes.
Jaws notebook. One of the things I really liked about this movie was the trees with all the different holidays, and I thought that was cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was reading some stuff about how typical studios, I think we talked about this last episode, sequel. You know, this movie could
Yep.
have easily become Nightmare Before Thanksgiving, Nightmare Before Easter.
Yep.
And Tim Burton was the one that was like, no, I don't want sequels to this.
Yep. He was very adamant about it's a standalone thing.
And it makes
And
sense. I mean, who really cares about a Nightmare Before Labor Day? So yeah, makes sense.
I actually thought about that yesterday too when I was watching like all the different doors. Like they could all easily be a sequel or a standalone like anthology.
Touchstone Pictures presents Happy 4th of July, Jack Skellington. Spooky, happy, spooky, happy. Weirdness, weirdness, spooky, happy. La la la. Weirdness, weirdness, patriotic weirdness. Barbecuing human heads. Every president is dead. Everybody's gonna die. Have a dark and dead July.
Fat chicks with black hair get tattoos of me.
The difference I feel like between movies being made now and being made 30 years ago is that Tim Burton probably wasn't, you know, he probably didn't have that scene in mind to be like, oh, this could set up potential sequels. Like, I feel like
Right.
movies now are like, look, this could set up a whole slew of movies. But he wasn't thinking
Oh,
that
yeah.
back then. He was just like, no, this is just all the different holidays.
And think about it, his Nightmare Before Christmas was pretty much the push for stop motion animation that actually was very successful.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
another thing I was going to bring up. The animation in this movie is outstanding. It's, I mean,
oh
for
yeah,
a movie that's 30 years old, it's beautiful, and
it still holds up.
I
It really does.
I mean, I think it looks better than some of the animation nowadays.
Yeah.
Probably because, well, you said it's claymation, right? So was this the type of sort of stop animation claymation where they have to, you know, every millisecond they have to do like a different motion?
Yep.
But you know
Because
that it's a physical thing that they were moving. So
yeah, like all the figures are made out of clay. You know, just Jack's head, there's about 200 heads with all different facial expressions. Take the picture, swap up the head. Okay, that's the next frame. Swap it back in, and go back and forth, back and forth, back
and
and
that's
forth.
why this movie's probably it's only like 70 something minutes. It's not a long movie, but you realize like how long it takes to do all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff. You never
oh
watched
yeah.
Parks and Rec, right?
Random episodes.
Do you ever see the one where the guy he quits his job, so he's working from home, so he makes his own stop animation short film?
Oh my God. That's the whole thing.
But that's
I
the
mean,
reality.
no, that is the reality. The amount of work
Yeah.
that has to go in because it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just one character; it's like everything going on around them that you have to
Yeah,
account for.
exactly.
It's insane.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween Town, that was a cool design. They had all the little pump. I mean, this movie's not directed by Tim Burton, which is interesting, but it is a Tim Burton film. He produced
Mhm.
it. He also obviously came up with like the original story. This was based on like a poem I was reading.
It was like a poem and his sketches.
Yeah, okay.
Like
But
they
obviously
based the
like
storyboards on his sketches
yeah.
too.
But obviously like Tim Burton's signature is all over this movie. Just a
Oh
little
yeah.
snake that you see in like Beetlejuice, like that's
Oh
like
yeah.
in
Yeah.
there and just like
Yeah.
even just like the little like instead of just having like flat looking, you know, background, like when Jack walks up the hill, it's got the little
Mhm.
point with the little circle and just like,
Yep.
you know, details like that. Like that's a Burton signature look right there.
For sure. The spiral, the spikiness everywhere. You can definitely tell it's Burtonized.
And the guy that directed this movie did Coraline.
Ah, all those stop motion then.
I just thought it was interesting because everybody, when you think of a movie, like if it's like a Spielberg directed movie, you call that a Spielberg movie. But for this, you call it a Tim Burton movie, but he didn't direct it. So I just find that interesting.
Well, that's the way he does, though. Like there are still several films of his that is just a Tim Burton film, but not directed by him.
But it's just it's almost like he almost has his own copywritten style that just, it's his. It's like you can't reproduce
You can't mistake it for anything else.
No, that's Tim Burton. So good for you, Tim. I'm glad to see you're doing well. Another thing I wanted to talk about was he really has an obsession with Frankenstein, because another animated movie that came out around Coraline was Frankenweenie, which is based on a short film that Tim Burton did.
Yeah.
This movie has a whole, I think, I can't remember the character's name. It was like Finkelstein. It was Dr. Finkelstein.
Yeah, Dr. Finkelstein. Yep.
And I guess Sally was his creation. That was the whole idea. And then he had Igor. Igor was there. So there's a whole Frankenstein thing going on. And I think that's interesting because Tim Burton must really love Frankenstein because, Frankenweenie, he has that.
See, I remember seeing the live action short of Frankenweenie, but I never saw the animation one.
Okay. It came out the same time we were in Full Sail, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So.
One of those favorite shorts that I've always loved, Vincent.
Oh yeah, Vincent Price, right?
Yeah, the little boy who thinks he's Vincent Price. And
I think that's the name of the character in Frankenweenie too. I could be mistaken. I want to say his
Vincent?
name. I think so. I'm gonna double check. Chris,
it might be. It might be because in the short Vincent, he has a dog and he experiments on him.
Yeah, Victor Frankenstein was the name of the main character in Frankenweenie, the 2012 film.
There
you go.
But all his shorts, and funny enough, on the VHS of the Nightmare Before Christmas, they showed right before the movie starts. It's one of Tim Burton's shorts, and it's Vincent.
Remember when VHS used to do that back in the day? I remember, what was it? I forgot what movie. It was like Little Giants, and there was like a Roger Rabbit short film that would play before the movie.
I missed those, actually. You saw the show, The Movies That Made Us?
Yes.
One of the episodes was Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't watch that one, but I've seen the others.
Well, that one explains a lot of the behind the scenes and like the props and everything. Like the props of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
There was 3 different ones. 2 of them were just the black one with a spiral. One that's like that goes open when he starts walking down it on the other side, and then,
okay.
And then the third one was the snow one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And a lot of those like set pieces got destroyed or they went missing. But one guy in the art department, he made sure to grab the snow one and he took it home. And you can still see the footprints of where Jack is.
Oh yeah, that was good little detail I liked in the movie. You see his little footprints when Sally comes up to talk to him. So.
That was cool. Pretty cool that they did all those little details.
That's a good show, by the way, for people that don't know what the hell we're talking about. The Movies That Made Us. It's on Netflix. Check it out because it's got a lot of classic. I was just thinking about that show the other day because I kind of wanted to rewatch like they did a Home Alone one. They did Die Hard. So it's a great show. I wish they would do more episodes of it because it's a great backstory of like a classic movie, but they also it's funny as well. Like they make it kind of funny.
It's entertaining.
So, I'll have to check out the Nightmare Before Christmas one because I didn't watch that one, but there's
they
some other good ones. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The Movies That Made Us, Netflix. Okay, cool. That'll give me a reason to boot up the old Netflix because it's been a minute since I've watched anything on there. Why do you think this movie was this movie a success when it came out, or was this a cult movie? Did this become popular like from watching it on TV, VHS? Like what do you think? Because again, I did not grow up watching this movie. This is newer to me. So tell me about what you think.
for me, it was just a very classic movie to always watch because it's still made for kids. It's not just catered to like goth adult or anything like that.
Oh my goodness.
What?
It's just funny you say that because I feel like the people that I meet that love this movie are adults and not necessarily children. And it makes sense because they would have been children in the 90s when this movie was out.
It depends because like I've seen people who love Tim Burton and they kind of look like him. You know, all the long black hair.
I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair.
That just love the aesthetic of the darkness of those films. I think it goes across a very wide audience.
Including you. Are you an emo Nightmare Before Christmas punk?
No.
I saw your
No.
fingers look like you had some like
Rosie wanted to paint,
there you go.
so I painted hers, she painted mine.
Beautiful. You look very pretty, Chris.
Oh.
All the boys will be jealous.
Yeah, she wanted to do that. It's more like Easter, so the Easter door.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be black, like my soul, like this is my life. It's black like my thoughts and my feelings.
You said you didn't grow up with it, but like now, do you like appreciate it more of just watching it again and again, or no?
It's not
Just
my
more like a
go. It's
one-time
not.
thing.
It's not one of my go-to movies for the holidays. I'll say that. But I definitely appreciate. I mean, again, I don't know if I consider this a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie, but I could definitely appreciate it as like a Disney classic from the '90s.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't feel like movies like this would get made nowadays.
Not really.
Yeah,
Like your favorite Tim Burton is still always going to be Ed Wood, right?
I love Ed Wood. Oh, that came out a year later after this. Please, if you've not seen Ed Wood, oh,
I
that's
saw it with you.
no. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the audience in
Oh.
general. If you've not seen the movie Ed Wood, it's great. Johnny Depp, black and white. It's beautiful. I love Ed Wood. I mean, Tim Burton just alone just has that era, that late '80s, early '90s. He was just it went from Beetlejuice to Batman to Edward Scissorhands. Then he was doing Batman Returns, Nightmare Before Christmas, Ed Wood, Mars Attacks, and then it kind of went downhill from. But yeah,
He still got some good ones in there. Hey, I
Sleepy
like
Hollow.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd's probably his last great movie, honestly. After Sweeney Todd, his movies weren't great. Alice in Wonderland was kind of fun. I did like Alice in Wonderland. It was fun. Like it's silly. He
I
did
didn't
that
really get into
Dark
much.
Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. It didn't really hit.
That one was bad.
I don't know. Now he's doing like TV. He's doing the Wednesday show.
That was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Wednesday is actually pretty damn good.
I didn't watch it because it's a TV show, so I don't give two shits about TV. But, he did Dumbo, which didn't really land well. The movie Big Eyes, that was okay. Big Eyes was an all right movie. That was interesting. That's more of like a biopic kind of movie, but yeah, I don't know. He didn't really have a ton of great movies post Sweeney Todd was probably his last great movie. I would say, but oh, and then he's got Beetlejuice 2 coming up this year. Or next year. That'll be interesting. So,
I'm excited for that one actually.
you ever see Big Fish?
Oh yeah.
That might actually next to Ed Wood, Big Fish might be my favorite Tim Burton movie. That's a good movie.
See, I love Batman '89, and I love Edward Scissorhands.
Those are the classics, though. Those are the like I said, late '80s, early '90s. That was, I think, that he was at the top. So, anyways, let's wrap this up because this show is going longer than the movie Nightmare Before Christmas ended up being. So, yeah, on Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, what else is there to say? You know, it is a institutional holiday film, whether it's Halloween or Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter. or 4th of July. Watch it whenever. This
Yeah.
movie will continue to become. This movie will continue to stay as a what do they call it? Like a zeitgeist reference kind of movie. There's always going to be references and people with the tattoos and all that stuff. So, I mean, it is the holiday season. If you want to check it out, it's Christmas time. Yeah,
Go for it.
It's Tim Burton at his finest. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, well said. It's you gotta watch it. You just gotta. It's
Well, you
too
don't
good.
gotta, because you don't have to do anything we say. But if you want to, you can.
We recommend.
We recommend that.
watch
That sounds good. Staff Picks recommends A Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll put it up on the little VHS shelf. This will be Chris's section. Chris recommends A Nightmare Before Christmas. But that's all we got to say about that. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. We're desperate over here. Chris needs it. So, but yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening.
Cut print. Moving on. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Everybody make a scene.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene, trick or treat.